Hi guys, so today I'm going to make a quick video with a few tips on how you can get the most from your spring planting. So hello, welcome back guys. It's the middle of February, it's actually Valentine's Day here in the south of Ireland. So I said I'd come on and make a video with a few quick tips to make the most out of your spring. So the first tip, we'll cut straight to the point. Number one is if you have an undercover place to plant, that's going to really make the most out of your growing season. I'm lucky I have a polytunnel here, so if you have the use of a greenhouse or a small polytunnel, even a cold frame, or even I see there now at the moment in like a Lidl and Aldi, you can buy small tunnels or little covered greenhouse shelving units, which are absolutely fantastic to get seeds growing and sown and really will allow you to extend the season. Tip number two is to grow from seed wherever possible, and it's about where you source your seed from. This was a bit of an issue for me at the beginning. I had no prior experience with raising seeds before I got into organic horticulture. So like most people, I went down to the local garden centre, bought some packets of seeds which were quite expensive, and came home to make an attempt to germinate them. And I know they had noticed they had a very low germination rate, and the price was always a lot more expensive than I wanted to pay. So a great tip is to buy online from locally sourced suppliers that are seed supplying companies. The seeds you buy in garden centres, they could be sitting on the shelf there for a number of years, and seeds don't have an infinite shelf life. So some seeds will only last for 1 or 2 seasons, some will last for a bit longer. So to get the most out of it and to be a bit more cost effective, I use primarily at the moment, I use 3 seed suppliers here in Ireland: Seedaholics, Irish Seed Savers, and I use Fruit Hill Farms. Fruit Hill Farms I also use for my propagation equipment and even for buying high quality compost and stuff like that. That takes me now to tip number 3 is same with anything. You can plant into anything, but with any tools or anything you're going to be using, I try to spend as much money as I can afford. When it comes to like seed trays and stuff like that, a lot of them are very flimsy seed trays that you could use for maybe 1 season and then they have to be thrown out again. Bringing plastic into the garden isn't my favorite thing, but these seed trays that I've gotten from Future Forests, I've used them for years and they are solid, robust seed trays. They're not going to break down this season, next season or the season after. I've heard stories of some people having these type of seed trays for upwards of 10 years. So get the best quality seed trays and compost you can get your hands on. If you don't have a large budget, you can keep it super simple. I use taller old tubes to grow broad beans. I still use coffee cups quite a lot, and the beauty of cardboard products like egg cartons and things like that, they can be planted fully into the soil and let compost and break down in situ. But I would advise, if you have a bit more resources, to buy the best you can with at the beginning. So the next tip we have now, tip number 4, just on seeds and seed storage. So for us, like buying seeds, we try to save seed as much as possible, but that's not always possible as well. What you see a lot of people do is they buy the seeds, they put them into the polytunnel or the greenhouse or in the back of the shed, and they use them for a year. They come back the next year and they notice not as much of the seeds are germinating. In the next year after that, maybe none of the seeds are germinating, and the seeds are losing their potency. So seeds require a number of things to germinate. They need light, they need water, and they need warmth. So to stay in a state of dormancy, you need to exclude these 3 things wherever you can. So no moisture to get into the seeds, as little warmth as possible, and as little light as possible. So most people will have the facilities for this in their kitchen or larder. So it's your refrigerator is an absolutely fantastic place to keep your seeds, but you must put them in to a sealed mason's jar or lunchbox. So what I do is I put all my seeds into a giant lunchbox. I put some of them silica ball gel things that suck in water. If I have a few packets of them, if I can get my hands on them, I put them into the container and I stick it into the fridge, and that should contain your seeds and keep your seeds in the optimal conditions for a couple of years. So I find that's the best possible way you can store your seeds to get the most from them. So just one more tip, I've lost track of the numbers, so it's about germinating seeds. So seeds require a stable, consistent heat to germinate. So if you have a polytunnel and you sow your seeds under cover down here, it's lovely and warm in here at the moment, so you might get that high 15-16 degrees during the day, but at the night time you'll get 7 or 8 hours where it might come down as low as freezing, and that's going to really slow down your germination rate for seeds. So I take my trays, I bring them up to the house, I stack them one on top of the other, and I just leave them anywhere in the house where the heat is going to be consistent, and I keep an eye on them over about a 7-day period. And as soon as the seedlings pop through the topsoil or pop through the compost, I bring them back down here and where there's a plenty light, and I let them grow on from there. And lastly, don't be afraid to experiment and try new things in the garden. Try varieties you've never heard of before. Try vegetables, you know, that you've never grown before. You know, it's all about trial and error. The best way to learn anything is to make a mess of it, and trust me, in this in gardening you will make mistakes. I make mistakes every single day when I come to the garden, but that's how we learn, you know. We always learn from our mistakes. It's only through our mistakes that we'll actually learn. So that's it now for the video on spring planting, guys. I'd love to know what people are growing themselves, and how you're growing, if you're growing outside, if you like the direct sow, and what you're doing and what you're actually growing and what varieties you're growing. And if anyone has any tips about early planting or anything like that, I'd love to hear a bit below in the comments about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you were new to this channel and you've never seen a video, I try to post videos as often as I can. So it'd be great if you could like the video if you enjoyed it, or subscribe if you'd like to see more similar videos. So that's it. So guys, thanks very much. Have a great Valentine's Day and happy planting. Bye.